Okay, today I am working in Photoshop. I've got a file that I've been working on creating a surreal landscape composition. So far, I've used layer mask. Actually, I could drag my background layer to the trash. Hey, now we can see my entire window. I've got this background layer in here. It's locked. It's useless. I'm going to drag the lock to the trash, and then I'm going to drag that layer to the trash because I don't need it. I've got all these other layers in here. I've done various things to them. I put layer styles onto my cat. All these little things in here, these little black screens, are layer masks that I put in to mask out the background of whatever I put in here. And now I am going to put some more things. This is like, alien cat from Mars. He's saying meow. He's got an eggplant on his head. He's totally in the mood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, I think this would be really fabulous with some flying saucers in the background. So I downloaded a flying saucer and I'm going to put it in here. Hopefully it'll work. So I'm going to my file menu. I'm going to choose place embedded. I choose place embedded every time I do this because I want whatever I put in here to be embedded into the file. I don't want it to be linked because, well, then if I send this file off to someone else who's going to open the Photoshop file, if I don't send them a separate folder with all the images in it, they're not going to see what I intend for them to see. The images are going to be missing because their version of Photoshop is going to expect to find the images on their desktop, which, well, we know they won't be. So place embedded is the best way to get things into Photoshop. Don't drag and drop from your desktop. Yeah, it works, but don't do it because you wind up with linked images. Instead, go to File menu and choose Place Embedded. Once I put in my image, I just did that whole thing, place embedded. Look, that's beautiful. It's a flying saucer, except it's got some other sky background in it. To make it easier to see what I'm doing, I'm just going to turn off the visibility of the cat layer. I could turn off the visibility of, well, I'm not going to remember where the other layers are. I could turn off the visibility of the other layers too, but basically I'm going to put a layer mask onto the UFO that I just stuck in there. I'm going to zoom in so I can see what I'm doing. Go in here, go to the toolbar, grab my quick selection tool. You may have to click and hold in it because it's like in the middle of the sandwich in these tools that allow you to do quick selection. This is the fastest way that I can think of to do it. This is great because it's like a hard edge object, but there is some stuff on the edge of it where the color is not, well, we're going to have some bloopers and I'm going to have to do a little cleanup, but this should be okay for now. I can hold down Option key and try to go over that gently and tighten it up. That might give me a better result. Okay, once I've got the selection going on, yeah, there's going to be a blooper up here and there's going to be some over there. It's just the image. It's just how it is on the background. I could have chosen a different one. I might have chosen a different one. Okay, so once I got that selected with the quick select tool, I got a little blinky line on it. I'm just going to go down here in the bottom of the layers panel and click on add layer mask. Mine is slightly off screen, that little yellow helper box. I can't get it to move up, but that will make that background go away. Actually, that looks all right. If I want to clean it up, because there are some pixels that I like over here, it looks kind of oogie, like I sort of missed it. As long as I'm still in the layer mask, if it's highlighted with that little white box around it, you are in the layer mask. If I want to work in the layer mask, black subtracts, white adds stuff back in. So I'm going to go down here into the bottom of my toolbar. I'm going to hit this little bent arrow so that the white is now in the foreground color. Grab my paintbrush, brush tool. I'm going to use my bracket keys to reduce the size of the brush. I'm doing this with a mouse, so it may not be as smooth as I like, but I'm just going to kind of paint along the edge of this to sort of add back in anything that I think I might have accidentally subtracted. Because even though quick select, it's quick. It's really easy to make a selection really fast. It doesn't always give me the greatest result, and going back in to the layer mask with the brush tool might yield a better result, and I'll wind up with more of the flying saucer and I won't have choppy edges. Of course, this thing is going to be so small. It's like, who's going to see it? Who's going to know? So I'm going to turn the visibility of my cat back on. Yeah, that's great. Okay. Maybe, if I want to, I can make another layer in here and kind of put something underneath the flying saucer. I don't know. I think it looks great the way it is. If I want to make it like if you said, wait, Professor Lauren, that's not convincing. Why don't you make it a little bit smaller? I can go to Edit menu and hit Free Transform and maybe just reduce the size of that thing. Maybe it's not so close to the cat. I just hovered over the corner and rotated slightly. Okay, that's great. Okay, so place something in, make a layer mask for it, go in and adjust the layer mask with the brush tool. You just saw me do the whole thing. When you're ready to save this for the web, I'll make sure I put that into my next video.